Maybe we shouldn't be surprised at how Caldwell County Commissioner Hoppy Hayden is voting these days on that nasty dump. But we should be suspicious.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
It's true that Hayden was just one of 4 votes to ignore a simple deadline to file a request for the TCEQ to reconsider their permit to Green Group.
Say aye.
Aye.
Let me ask you a simple question. I still don't get it. Why stop fighting at all? County commissioners were all armed with the same warnings of the state's public counsel. The 130 Environmental Park would be run by a company with a questionable reputation, curious engineering work. The dump would be close to a dangerous dam without a sure source of water to fight dust and fires. They knew that this simple motion would protect the county's right to fight again later with Green Group if the company ignored tougher safety rules.
You have to take the motion for rehearing step before you can try the appellate route. You have to exhaust all your remedies first.
It's no good for us. I mean, it's absolutely no good for us.
Joe Rowland represents the folks who have the most to lose. His colleagues were about to do what they've been doing for months. Simply ignore him. If you listen closely, you would hear Judge Showery and Hoppy Hayden talking about their chats with their friends at Green Group. Isn't it time they both disclose when and where they hang out with their trashy friends? I say yes. Disclose all the secret meetings, the phone calls, the emails. Oh, and by the way, why is the county attorney fighting so hard to keep all those emails secret? This, folks, is exactly why you don't want the county attorney and the district attorney to be the same person. Then there's Hoppy Hayden's connections to the TCEQ. Hayden says he has sources inside the agency that told him an appeal would fail anyway, even before it was filed.
I made a couple of phone calls to the TCQ, people that I've spoken with before. And they feel like that the motion probably will there's a good possibility it won't be heard.
Now that's due process. Don't you think Hoppy Hayden should disclose his secret source at the TCEQ? I do. And why are these guys talking to the TCEQ or Green Group anyway, when they're supposed to be in some kind of legal battle? So here is why Hayden's vote is also a slap in the face to the citizens group chosen to negotiate the host agreement with Green Group. The group, including Hayden, had just voted days earlier to negotiate with the company face to face. No strings, but keeping the legal option on the table as leverage. Maybe Hayden had amnesia that day, because here he is voting to surrender that very trump card. Green Group's other demand, of course, is a change to the siting ordinance. Hayden's on record refusing to do it.
We have been pretty firm on the not repealing the siting ordinance, and I think that will continue, at least for my part. I don't see any benefit to the county in repealing the siting ordinance whatsoever. I can see where it would be beneficial to other parties, but I don't think it would be beneficial to the county. I have no doubt that Green Group will probably strike some of the things that are in here, or want to strike some of the things that are in here, and that's part of the negotiation. But as far as, that's a substantive issue in my mind. The siting ordinance it could prove to be a deal killer.
But what's to stop Mr. Hayden from breaking that promise too?
We're done.
The late breaking news, Hayden is now moving to dissolve the very Citizens Committee that was supposedly so important in these negotiations. We call that twisting the knife into transparency. Opponents of the landfill have been suspicious about Hoppy Hayden from the start. Maybe you don't remember the Austin American-Statesman article in November of 2014. Green Group was cultivating allies, it said. A group called Growth and Progress for Caldwell County was formed. Who could be against growth and progress? Although it's kind of hard to imagine how a 17-story tall tower of trash that employs just a couple of people could really be considered growth or progress.
I think we've made great progress. in the last month.
Speaking of progress, Mr. Hayden, you're one of the founding members of Growth and Progress, aren't you? The environmental consultant. Wonder if it's time for you to disclose all your past and present clients too, just so we can see. We checked the records of Growth and Progress, by the way, in the Secretary of State's office. The nonprofit was terminated in November 2016. It ceased to exist. Wait a minute. Isn't there any more need for Growth and Progress in Caldwell County? Or is Hoppy Hayden and his real estate friends just content with Caldwell County being known as a big giant dump site for other people's smelly trash? I've heard politicians in Caldwell County complaining that we're impugning their integrity, suggesting there's some kind of funny business. Who would ever think that there'd be funny business between a garbage company and politicians? But we'll forget that. But look, here's the bottom line. We're not going anywhere, so get used to the question.